I must say that I'm highly impressed. Prime Minister Modi has done very well during his chairship of the G20, just focusing on his country. He's focusing on the world politics, and therefore he's put India on the world map.
Hello everyone, I'm at the P20 summit. We all know that G20 under India's presidency has seen some unprecedented initiatives, like African Union became the permanent member of G20. We are also seeing the Pan-Africa Parliament participating for the first time at the P20 summit. I have with me Nosiviwe Mapisa, the Speaker of South African Parliament, to know more about it. So ma'am, so what is your take on India's leadership?
Thank you very much. I must say that I'm highly impressed. I think Prime Minister Modi has done very well during his chairship of the G20, and equally I believe the Speaker of the National Assembly here has done extraordinarily well, in that for the first time, and it has never been thought about, somebody decided that the African Union, being a body that represents Africans, that represents a continent, that represents different regions, that represents different countries of our continent. The fact that today they are part of the G20, and therefore we ourselves can speak for ourselves, raise issues which affect us directly with the G20 members. I think it's a very important decision which he has taken. And I think he must be congratulated and commended for that. It's a very progressive step. But not only that, we should always bear in mind that India is the oldest democracy. And therefore, I think it was good for India to be the one that takes a lead when this moment comes. Secondly, I think equally the Speaker of the National Assembly, and I guess this is just it's a position of the country. The fact that when we have a P20 of the G20, that he had an appreciation of inviting the Pan-African Parliament to participate and be the voice of the African geopolitical group at this meeting, I think was very good. And therefore, I want to commend the Speaker and the Prime Minister Modi in particular, but I also would like to commend the Parliament of India for taking very decisive steps of developing legislation which empowers women, which allows for women to participate in all structures and at all levels of our society. I think it's a very good decision, and the women of India should not take that for granted. The women of India need to take it upon themselves that now that there's a legislation which facilitates all of those things, that they should take it very seriously, that we should work hard as women, and that we should prove our worth. The last thing I would like to say about India, and I think it's important for me as a person from the African continent, is it's just the amazing, the hospitality of the people of India, the respect that we get as delegates from just an ordinary worker in an hotel, the warmth, the kindness, and the humility. And these are things which really prove your worth and build the country.
India is the biggest democracy in the world, the oldest democracy, also the most diverse nation in the world. So how do you think India is leading the global diversity with African Union participation, and also how far do you think the Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, the motto, this philosophy is actually turned into action now, the one earth, one family, one future? How much do you think India is able to achieve that?
You know what? For me, it's about basics, just small things. Yesterday we had lunch which was hosted by the Speaker. And in fact, just to prove that indeed it is a diverse society, but very united as a family, just the basic foods, the foods which we were exposed to were different traditional dishes from the different parts of India. Even the cultural practices, even the dresses, just those kinds of things. These are things which demonstrate, the diversity of this country. And I think for me, if people who have, we still have areas generally in the world where you'll have ethnic tensions, where you'll have tribal tensions. And I think if we can look at the example of India and how it is doing, there is a lot which we can learn. So I believe that from other countries, there's a lot we can take from India.
That's last quick question. 3 words for Mr. Narendra Modi.
Prime Minister Modi was in South Africa from the BRICS Heads of State Summit. There too, he was providing leadership in the course of the engagements and in the interactions through the media as we were watching. So I think that he's a great leader. I think he also has, when you are a good listener, then you become, that's what makes you a better leader. I think that people should continue to support him. People should continue, because he's not just focusing on his country, he's focusing on the world politics. And therefore, he's put India on the world map. Of course, it's been there, but I think for those of us who are there now, who are watching how he commandeers things and how he's been conducting himself, I really believe that he needs a lot of support.